Today we're going to go over 10 of the most iconic features Rockstar removed from GTA Online over the years. If you're a new player, you probably didn't even know these existed, and if you're a long-time player, well, you're probably like me and you miss a lot of these features. So let's get into it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, sub for more stuff like this, let's go. At number 10, this will bring a tear to your eye if you played in 2013, the armored trucks. We all know what free mode events look like in GTA Online now, something like a business battle, maybe something like an exotic export vehicle or a gang vehicle. But before any of that, the first thing that was that little blue dot on the map way back in 2013 were these armored trucks. These things were awesome. As soon as these popped up on the map, everyone in the lobby would flock to try and get the money out the back of it. To open the doors at the back, you could either throw a sticky bomb or shoot the locks on the back door, and then cash would fall out the back. Whoever got that money first, of course, got to keep it. It was about $5,000, which doesn't seem like much nowadays, but back then, you gotta remember, we didn't have heists. The best way to make money was either races or contact missions. So this was a lot of money. Even though it was very, very simple, this is still one of my most favorite free mode features of all time, and it's really unfortunate that Rockstar had to remove it because of, well, modders abusing the system. At number 9, we've got Johnny on the Spot, your mechanic. Nowadays, whenever you call in a vehicle, it just sort of spawns near you. That didn't actually happen way back when the game launched. Your mechanic would drive the car to you and then hop out of the car and walk off. This was really funny because everyone would kill their mechanic and then just request another vehicle from him and he'd spawn alive again 2 seconds later. But this definitely made the game feel a bit more realistic. You know, instead of cars just teleporting, you had your own personal mechanic who was working for you. I don't know, it felt a lot more realistic and cool. But unfortunately, Rockstar did have to remove the feature just because it was really buggy. A lot of the time, your mechanic would end up just driving off with your car, and then you would have to try and kill him in order to stop the vehicle from driving away, and then that didn't work sometimes, and he drove like a maniac trying to escape you. Yeah, the system was very, very buggy. And it also doesn't really make sense that you should be trying to kill your mechanic in order to get your car, so that's why Rockstar removed it. At number 8 is giving cash to friends. Now, technically this feature is kind of still in the game, but not to the extent that it was way back in 2013. You used to be able to give your friends way more cash than you currently can. And I think we all know the reason Rockstar removed this. Yeah, it doesn't really help with shark card sales, does it? And you can imagine the amount of modders and glitches that were abusing this system as well in order to get millions and millions of dollars, and trust me, that did happen. But it kind of does suck, right? Like, we all have that friend that's new to the game, and we all wish we could just give him, you know, a couple $1 million and get him started in GTA Online. But unfortunately, Rockstar doesn't like that idea because that player doesn't have to buy shark cards anymore. So pretty simple to see why they've removed it. Today's video is sponsored by Dragon Raja. A major update is coming to Dragon Raja. Now, this is an inside scoop. A new club competition, Cloud Conqueror, is coming up. Clubs have always been an important part to Dragon Raja, and now clubs can compete against each other in new exciting ways. Fight with your club members for the highest club honor starting on March 23rd. The event includes server championships and a cross-server tournament. Different rewards will be given out to all members of the club depending on your rank. Clubs that rank top 2 in the server championship can be qualified for the cross-server tournament. The cross-server tournament includes 10 rounds, with 1 round each on Saturday and Sunday. The highest honor will go to the club with the most wins. The winning club will win rewards like Medal of Glory, Dynamic Picture Title, Special Club Logo, and so on. Dragon Raja is also running a global club carnival event. This event will be held between March 4 and March 31, so it's going on right now. Head over to the official Dragon Raja Discord server for more info, daily rewards, exclusive prizes, returning player rewards, and more. And thank you to Dragon Raja for sponsoring today's video. Next up is crate drops. Now, this is one of the changes that is kind of actually a good one. Back in the day, there used to be these random crates that would spawn around the map. Whoever got there first and shot it and opened it would get ammo, RP, just the usual stuff, you know? But Rockstar actually removed this feature and has since improved it, actually. Nowadays, there's a bunch of ways you can call in crates and get armor, RP, snacks, all of that usual stuff, whether it's from Franklin or one of the other NPCs in the game. Nowadays, you can just give them a call, they'll drop a crate in for you, and you can restock that way. Next, we've got betting on races. This one's really, really funny and very surprising that Rockstar even let this ever be a thing in the game. Back when the game launched, you could bet $10,000 on anyone to win a race. Nowadays, if you've ever played a race, you would know that the maximum is $1,000. One of the best ways to make money years and years ago was just everyone agrees to bet on one person, and then you just let that person win. And because everyone bet $10,000, you would get a lot of money back, and it's actually more beneficial for you to bet on someone else and let them win the race instead of actually trying to win the race yourself. I can't believe Rockstar ever let that in the game. You would think someone would have thought of that in the testing stages, right? But this didn't last in the game for long. Rockstar removed it pretty quickly and capped it at $1,000 so that it's not really worth betting on anyone other than yourself. Still a really funny feature that we can reminisce about, but unfortunately, it's no longer a thing. We all know about the firework launcher in the game, but did you know back in the day you could get ground fireworks as well? That's right, you could just go into Ammunition, buy a handful of these fireworks for a few $100s each, and then go outside and place them on the ground. You can see here there's a few different settings. You can put a timer, a color, a type of firework, and then you would place it on the ground and wait for the fireworks. I'm not really too sure why Rockstar removed this one. I would assume it's because they needed to be placed in open, clear areas, and perhaps someone bugged that out and it was very buggy. Knowing how Grand Theft Auto Online is, I think it's pretty safe to assume that this was removed because of bugs. Next, let's have a moment of silence for all of the removed missions in GTA Online. Some of the most iconic missions from way back in the PS3 and Xbox 360 days were of course removed over the years. Some of the community favorites were ones like the ATV Steal mission, Rooftop Rumble, of course, everyone used to love that mission. Rooftop Rumble was one of the most iconic farmable missions because it was pretty easy and it gave you over $10,000, which was a lot of money back in the day. Remember, like I said before, we didn't have heists, nothing like that in the game, and the most expensive property in the game was the high-end apartment for $400,000, and again, the most expensive car in the game was only $1 million with the adder. So missions like this were absolutely golden, and they were the best way to farm money in the game. I'm not really sure why they got removed though. I mean, these missions could easily still be in the game, no? Maybe it'd be cool if Rockstar added them back one day. Next, the character creator got a complete overhaul once it came to PS4 and Xbox One. Look at this character creator, it is so much different. You could even customize lifestyle things like how often your character would be asleep, how much time they spend with friends and family, how much time they spend playing sports, doing legal work, sitting on the couch, partying, and doing illegal work. Nowadays though, you can just assign what stats you want your character to have initially. But back on PS3, this was Rockstar's way of making it seem more realistic, that your character would have higher strength to start off with, for example. But I definitely like the aesthetics of the newer character creator more. This definitely has PS3 vibes, doesn't it? Yeah, this is straight out of 2013, man. I kind of miss it though. At number 2, we've got the distract cop missions from Lester. You used to be able to just call Lester up and then distract the cops by causing mayhem in a certain area of the map for 5 minutes, and then he would give you $10,000. Not really hard to see why this was removed though, because nowadays, now that we have all of these heavily armored vehicles that make it impossible for police to kill us, this is kind of a joke of a mission nowadays. This only really makes sense if you don't have an armored car. And now in 2023, when Rockstar quite literally lets us get an armored car as we load into the game, yeah, there's no real place for this mission to still be a thing, so pretty easy to see why they took it out. And at number 1, we have the initial death cutscene. This used to be a thing the first time you died in all of GTA Online, and I'll let the entire cutscene play out in a second so you can watch it, but unfortunately Rockstar removed this once they added the game to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Kind of a shame, this is a really iconic cutscene, but I guess newer players probably don't understand what it means at all. It kind of only makes sense if you've played a lot more of the story mode, and people don't really do that nowadays because GTA Online is just bigger than story nowadays. Anyway, we'll wrap the video up there. I'll play this cutscene from the start so you can watch it. It's very, very funny. Hope you stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Welcome, brother. Welcome. You see, They said I was a charlatan, a fraud, a nothing. But I am a miracle. Look and behold in wonder. And ask yourself, what does mighty Chris Formage, leader of the Epsilon program, do with his enormous power? Why, he uses it to watch people, of course. Join me anytime you like in watching. They never find out, and they can't harm you. It is the greatest pleasure on earth. And trust me, I've lain with a multitude of women.